Have you ever stopped to wonder about the hidden connections in our world? It is a place of immense power and delicate beauty, where the largest and smallest of creatures live together. We often see the big events, the grand storms and the changing of the seasons, but there is a secret, a quiet idea that suggests the most enormous outcomes can begin with something almost too small to notice. This idea is known as the butterfly effect. It tells us that in the vast, interconnected web of life, even the tiniest action can send ripples across the globe, creating great change in places we have never even seen. It is a concept that holds both a warning and a sense of profound wonder about the planet we all share. So what exactly is this mysterious butterfly effect? Put simply, it is the idea that a very small change in one place can lead to a very large change in another place, much later on. Imagine a long line of dominoes, each one standing perfectly still. If you gently touch the very first one, it falls. It then knocks over the next, and so on. Soon, the last domino, far away from your finger, will tumble down. The small push you gave at the beginning caused a much bigger event to happen at the end. The butterfly effect works in a similar way, but instead of dominoes, it involves the complex and often unpredictable systems of our world, like the weather. This powerful idea was first explored by a meteorologist named Edward Lorenz. He was using a computer to predict the weather. One day he wanted to rerun a weather simulation. To save time, he typed in the numbers from the middle of the previous run, but he rounded them off by a tiny, almost insignificant amount. He shortened 0.506127 to just 0.506. He expected the result to be almost the same, but what he discovered was astonishing. This minuscule change, smaller than a grain of sand, completely transformed the long-term weather forecast. The computer predicted a totally different storm system, all because of a number change too small for the eye to see. This discovery showed us just how sensitive our world systems can be. It revealed that predicting the future with perfect accuracy is nearly impossible, not because we lack powerful computers, but because we can never know every single tiny detail at the start. A single puff of wind, a leaf falling from a tree, or the gentle flap of a butterfly's wings could be the one small thing that changes everything. It is a humbling thought, reminding us that we are part of a system so intricate and interconnected that even our smallest footprints leave a mark. The world is a grand, unpredictable dance, and every performer, no matter how small, has a role to play in the final outcome. Let us follow the journey of a single butterfly to truly understand this idea. Imagine a beautiful blue morpho butterfly deep in the Amazon rainforest. It rests upon a leaf, its wings shimmering in the dappled sunlight. It decides to fly to another flower, and so it flaps its wings. This small movement creates a tiny puff of air, a miniature whirlwind almost impossible to feel. It is a seemingly unimportant event, one of thousands happening every second in the vast jungle. The butterfly has no idea that this simple act of flight has just started a long and invisible chain reaction, a whisper that will travel across continents. This tiny puff of air, created by the butterfly's wings, gently nudges the air next to it. This second pocket of air then moves and nudges the air next to it. This chain continues, growing ever so slightly in strength with each interaction. The initial flutter might cause a nearby leaf to tremble a little more than it would have otherwise. This trembling leaf might then guide a droplet of morning dew to fall onto a spider's web, causing it to break. The energy continues to spread, unseen and unheard, joining with thousands of other tiny atmospheric movements. It is like a rumor passed from one air molecule to the next, slowly building momentum as it travels. Weeks later, and thousands of miles away, over the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean, the conditions are becoming just right for a storm to form. The sun has heated the ocean, and the air is full of moisture. Many different air currents are meeting and interacting. That tiny pulse of energy, which began with our butterfly in the Amazon, has now traveled across the ocean. It arrives at this precise location at the perfect moment. It is just the extra push needed to tip the balance. This small addition of energy helps a column of warm, moist air to rise just a little bit faster, starting a rotation that would not have happened otherwise. What started as the flap of a butterfly's wings has now become the seed of a mighty hurricane. This powerful storm, with its swirling winds and heavy rains, grows in strength and begins to move towards the coast of Florida. It is a massive, powerful force of nature that can change landscapes and affect the lives of millions of people. and yet its existence can be traced all the way back to that one single tiny flutter in a distant rainforest. Without that specific flap, at that specific time, the storm might never have formed, or it might have been just a gentle breeze. This story shows the incredible power of small beginnings. This idea is not just a story. We see its principles at work throughout the natural world. Think of a key species in an ecosystem, like the sea otter. For many years, sea otters were hunted for their fur, and their numbers dropped dramatically. This seemed like a small change in the vast ocean. However, sea otters love to eat sea urchins. Without the otters to control them, the sea urchin population exploded. These spiny creatures graze on kelp, and with no predators, they devoured entire kelp forests. These underwater forests were vital habitats, providing food and shelter for countless other fish and marine animals. The disappearance of the kelp forests had a huge impact. Fish populations declined, which in turn affected the seabirds that hunted them. The entire coastal ecosystem, once vibrant and full of life, became a barren underwater desert. The removal of one small piece, the sea otter, caused the entire structure to collapse. It is a clear and powerful example of how interconnected life is. When we protect the otters, the kelp forests can grow back, and the rich web of life returns. Every creature, no matter its size, plays a crucial part in maintaining the delicate balance of its environment. An interesting fact about this concept comes from the world of solar systems. Scientists who study the movement of planets have found that the orbits of planets in our solar system are technically chaotic over very long periods. This means that a tiny nudge to a planet's orbit today, perhaps from a passing asteroid, could lead to a dramatically different path millions of years from now. It could even change whether that planet remains in the solar system at all. This shows that the butterfly effect is not just limited to Earth's weather or ecosystems. It is a fundamental principle that applies to the vast and complex systems of the entire universe. The same principle applies to the spread of seeds. A single bird might eat a berry from a tree and fly many miles away. It then deposits the seed in a new location. That one seed, carried by one bird, could grow into a mighty tree. Over hundreds of years, that single tree could become the beginning of an entirely new forest, transforming the landscape and creating a new habitat for thousands of creatures. The small, simple act of a bird eating a piece of fruit can have consequences that last for centuries, reshaping the very ground we walk on. It is another beautiful example of nature's ability to create grand results from humble origins. This powerful idea is not just for scientists and butterflies, it is deeply relevant to our own lives. Every choice we make, no matter how small it seems, is like the flap of a wing. A single word of kindness to someone who is having a difficult day might seem insignificant, but that kindness could lift their spirits, giving them the strength to be kind to someone else. This small act can create a chain reaction of positivity that spreads through a community, making it a better place for everyone. We may never see the final result of our small good deeds, but they send ripples out into the world nonetheless. Conversely, small negative actions can also have far-reaching effects. Dropping a single piece of plastic litter on the ground seems like a minor act, but that plastic can be washed into a river, travel out to the ocean, and harm marine life far away. If millions of people think their one piece of litter does not matter, the result is a massive pollution problem that damages our planet's beautiful oceans. Each individual choice contributes to the larger outcome. Understanding this helps us see that our daily actions, from recycling a bottle to conserving water, are incredibly important in protecting the health of our shared home. The butterfly effect empowers us. It means that you do not have to be a world leader or a famous scientist to make a difference. Your small, positive actions have the potential to create significant change. Choosing to walk or cycle instead of driving reduces your carbon footprint. Planting a single tree in your garden provides oxygen and a home for wildlife. Supporting local farmers helps build a stronger community. Each of these is a small flap of your own wings, sending out positive ripples that contribute to a healthier planet and a kinder society. No act is ever truly wasted or too small to matter. So let us remember the lesson of the butterfly. Our world is a beautiful and complex place where everything is connected. The largest storms can begin with the quietest whispers, and the greatest changes can start with the simplest of actions. We are all part of this intricate web. Every day, with every choice we make, we are flapping our wings and sending ripples into the future. Let us strive to make those ripples ones of kindness, of care, and of respect for the wonderful planet that we all have the privilege to call home, because a small change today can create a much brighter tomorrow.